Okay, in this podcast, we're going to be looking at degrees of freedom, an idea that people seem to struggle with a little bit throughout statistics, but it's actually quite an easy idea to understand, at least at a basic level. Degrees of freedom go throughout all statistical analysis. They do get a little bit trickier as they go along, but if we can try and understand it at this basic level, then that will definitely help you as you go along. So if we took a data set with, for example, 5 numbers in it, so they could be any assortment of numbers. So let's say 10, 20, 25, 15, and 30. So there's 5 numbers, and n equals 5. Add those numbers up, divide them by 5, and that will give you your mean value, which in this case would be 20. So degrees of freedom dictates how many of these values are free to change, okay? So in this case, if we got rid of one of the numbers, so say for example, we got rid of 15, okay? We replace that with x. So we've got rid of 15, we no longer know what it is. However, we do know what our mean value is 20, and we know that there's an n of 5. So that means there's only one number that will divide by 5 to equal 20, and that's 100. So we need these numbers to add up to equal 100. That means if you add these together, 10 plus 20 plus 25 plus 30, that will equal us 85. 85 minus that 100, so minus, sorry, if we do the other way around, you have to convert it around, minus 100 would equal minus 15. Okay, so we're missing from this a 15, which means this missing value here is a 15. Any of these other values are free to vary as long as they add up to this 85. So for example, this 25 could be a, let's make that a bit easier to add up. So that could be a 15, and this value could be a 30, as long as they all add up to 85. So in this case, and this is the same throughout all degrees of freedom, is there's 5 numbers, okay, so 5 numbers to begin with, minus this one here, which was not free to vary, so that's 1, equals a degrees of freedom of 4. So 4 numbers within there are free to change out of the 5. Okay, so hopefully that gives you a better understanding of degrees of freedom, which we'll have a further look at as we're running through the ANOVA, which is included in the other podcasts within the workbook.